So these three men ceased to answer Job, for he was right in his own eyes, and standing firm within the middle of the night. Then was kindled the wrath of Elihu, the son of Barashel the Buzite, against Job, because he justified his soul beneath the light. I am young and ye are very old, wherefore I was afraid, and does not show you my opinion or the choices I have made. I said they should speak and multitude of years should teach, but there is a spirit in man that the wisdom has to reach. It's the breath of the Almighty, giving understanding soul beyond the age of silver hair and the human self-control. Great men are not always wise, neither do the aged not know the judgment of the Spirit as the seasons come and go. For God is greater than man. Why dost thou strive against his hand? He gives not account of any of his matters in the land. The breath of the Almighty, stirring in the deep. The breath of the Almighty, waking those who sleep. God speaks once, yet twice, yet man perceives it not at all. In a dream, in a vision of the night, before the shadows fall, then he opens the ears of men and seals their instruction fast, to withdraw man from his purpose while the light is meant to last. If there be a messenger with him, an interpreter, one among 1,000 to show unto man his uprightness with the tongue, then he is gracious unto him and says, deliver him from the pit. I have found a ransom for the soul in every part of it. His flesh shall be fresher than a child's, he shall return again to the days of his youth and leave behind the shadow and the pain. He shall pray unto God and he will be favorable and true. He shall see his face with joy in everything he'll do. It's the breath of the Almighty, giving understanding soul beyond the age of silver hair and the human self-control. The breath of the Almighty, Almighty, listen to me. The breath of the Almighty. Then Job answered the Lord and said, I know that thou canst do everything, and that no thought can be withholden from you. Who is he that hides counsel without knowledge or the light? Therefore have I uttered that I understood not in the night things too wonderful for me, which I knew not in my soul. declare thou unto me, and let my spirit finally be free. I have heard of thee by the hearing of the ear, but now mine eyes sees thee, and the holy quiet fear. Wherefore I abhor myself and repent in dust and ash, in the middle of the silence and the Spirit's heavy lash. The questions have been answered by the presence of the fire. The vanity is gone before the heart's one true desire. Dust and ashes, where the pride begins to die. Dust and ashes, beneath the glory of the sky. I am vile, what shall I answer thee? I will lay my hand upon my mouth, for I have spoken once across the land, yet twice, but I will proceed no further in the race. Job bowed his weary head within that dark and lonely place. The boys were still upon him, and the children were still gone, but the shadow of the whirlwind was the breaking of the dawn. For to see the face of God is enough for any man to trust the hidden mystery and the turning of the plan. The friends were silent now, for their words were found so small beside the thunder of the voice and the shadow of the wall. The Lord's wrath was kindled against the three who spoke the lie, but Job would pray for them beneath the turning of the sky. I have heard of thee by the hearing of the ear, but now mine eyes sees thee, and the holy quiet fear. Dust and ashes. 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 Who is this that darkens counsel by words without the light? Gird up now thy loins like a man, stand within the might. For I will demand of thee, and answer thou me now. In the middle of the whirlwind, with the dust upon thy brow, where wast thou when I laid the foundations of the earth? Declare if thou hast understanding of the mystery and the birth. Out of the whirlwind, the voice begins to roar. Out of the whirlwind, like nothing heard before. Who has laid the measures thereof? Or who has stretched the line upon the corners of the world by the masonry divine? Whereupon are the foundations thereof fastened in the deep? Or who laid the cornerstone while the morning stars did weep, and all the sons of God shouted for the joy and for the grace when shut up the sea with doors when it break forth and ran from the womb of the beginning, far beyond the reach of man. Hitherto shalt thou come, but no further was the word. And here shall thy proud waves be stayed, the only command heard. Hast thou commanded the morning since thy days began to be, and caused the day spring to know his place across the silver sea? Have the gates of death been opened unto thee, or hast thou seen the doors of the shadow of the death, where the darkness is so keen? Declare if thou knowest it all, where is the way where light dwells? And as for darkness, where is the place and the secrets that it tells? Canst thou bind the sweet influences of Pleiades above, or loose the bands of Orion with the power and the love? Canst thou bring forth Mazzaroth in his season and his turn, or canst thou guide Arcturus with his sons while the stars burn? Counsel by words without the light. Gird up now thy loins like a man, and stand within the might out of the whirlwind. Answer me out of the whirlwind. So the Lord blessed the latter end of Job more than his start, giving peace unto the spirit and the healing to the heart. 14,000 sheep and the camels in the sun, a double portion for the man whose race was nearly run. 7 sons and daughters, 3, the fairest in the land, restored by the mercy and the power of the hand. The latter end, more beautiful than gold. The latter end, the story that was told. And all the land were no women found so fair as Job's own seed, Jemima and Keziah and Karen Hapush indeed. And their father gave them inheritance among their brethren there, in a world that was renewed by the answer to the prayer. After this lived Job 140 years of grace, and saw his sons and sons in that quiet holy place, even 4 generations as the seasons turned to gray, until he died, being old and full of days along the way. The night of Job is over, the morning is shining bright. The mystery light of Job is finished, but the song is just begun. Beneath the mercy of the Father and the turning of the sun. So the Lord bless the latter end of Job more than his start, giving peace unto the spirit and the healing to the heart. The latter end. Wilt thou hunt the prey for the lion, or fill the appetite of the young lions when they couch in the middle of the night? Who provides for the raven his food when his young ones cry? Unto God they wander for lack of meat beneath the sky. Knowest thou the time when the wild goats of the rock bring forth? Or canst thou mark when the hinds do calve in the south and in the north? Who has sent out the wild as free, or loose the bears of the strong? Who scorns the multitude of the city and the labor and the song? He is the master of the wild, the king of every breath. From the eagle in the heaven to the valley of the death, does the hawk fly by thy wisdom and stretch her wings to south? Does the eagle mount up at thy command in the words of thy mouth? She dwells and abides on the rock, upon the crag and the height. Her eyes behold the far off in the middle of the light. The master of the world, watching every field. The master of the wild, to whom the secrets yield. Hast thou given the horse strength? Hast thou clothed his neck with fire? He paws in the valley and rejoices in his strength and his desire. He goes on to meet the armed men, he mocks at every fear. He swallows the ground with fierceness when the trumpet's sounding near. He says among the trumpets, and he smells the war afar. The thunder of the captains and the shouting where they are. Canst thou draw out Leviathan with an hook or with a line? Will he make many supplications or a covenant divine? Behold now Behemoth, which I made with thee is one. He eats grass as an ox beneath the turning of the sun. His strength is in his loins and his force is in his frame. A masterpiece of power and the glory of the name. He is the master of the wild, the king of every breath. From the eagle in the heavens to the valley of the dead. The master of the wild. But Job answered and said, hear diligently my speech, and let this be your consolations, and the lessons that you teach. Suffer me that I may speak, and after that I have spoken. Mark on is my complaint to man. Why should my spirit not be gone? Mark me and be astonished, and lay your hand upon your mouth. Even when I remember, I am afraid. From the north until the south, wherefore do the wicked live? Become old, yeah, are mighty in power. Their seed is established in their sight. In every single hour, the prosperity of the vile, they spend their days in wealth, with the houses safe from fear, and the beauty and the health. They take the timbrel and the harp, and rejoice at the sound of the organ and the music that is waiting to be found. They say unto God, depart from us, for we desire not the way of thy knowledge or thy light. In the middle of the day, the prosperity of the vile, it's a riddle in the street. The prosperity of the vile, with the bitter and the sweet. Oh, what is the Almighty that we should serve him? They will cry. And what profit shall we have if we pray unto the sky? Lo, their good is not in their hand. The counsel of the wicked is far from me. How oft is the candle of the wicked put out like a star? And how oft comes their destruction upon them? God distributes sorrows in his anger to the one who never tributes. They are as stubble before the wind, and as chaff that the storm carries away, while the world is still quiet and so warm. One dies in his full strength, being wholly at ease and quiet. His breasts are full of milk, and his bones are free from rot. And another dies in the bitterness of his soul, and never eats. With pleasure they shall lie down alike in the dust of the streets. The prosperity of the vile, they spend their days in wealth, with the houses safe from fear, and the beauty is the prosperity of the vile. The prosperity of the How then comfort ye me in vain? The prosperity of the vile. This is the portion, a wicked man from God above, the heritage of oppressors, without a memory of love. Though his excellency mount up to the heavens and the height, he shall perish forever like his own dung in the night. Have seen him shall say, where is he? And he'll fly away as a dream, and shall not be found beneath the sky. The portion of the wicked, a shadow on the wall. The portion of the wicked, must cause me to speak, because I make haste to answer for the tired and the weak. Knowest thou not this of old, since man was placed on earth, that the triumphing of the wicked is short from the day of birth, and the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment in the sun, before the darkness gathers and the race is finally run. Though wickedness be sweet in his mouth, though he hide it under tongue, yet his meat in his bowels is turned, and the poison is among. He has swallowed down riches, and he shall vomit them again. God shall cast them out of his belly in the middle of the pain. He shall suck the poison of asps, the viper's tongue shall slay. He shall not see the rivers, the floods of honey, and the day that which he labored for shall he restore, and shall not swallow. According to his substance shall the restitution follow, because he has oppressed and has forsaken the poor and low, because he has violently taken away a house he didn't know. In the fullness of his sufficiency he shall be in straits. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him at the gates. When he is about to fill his belly, God shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him, like a witness and a jury. This is the portion of a wicked man from God above, the heritage of oppressors, without a memory of love. The portion of the wicked, portion of the wicked. A fire like blown shall consume him. Portion of the How long will ye vex my soul and break me in pieces with words? These 10 times have ye reproached me like the sharpenings of swords. Ye are not ashamed that ye make yourself strange to my face. And if indeed I've erred, my error remains in its place. Know now that God has overthrown me and has compassed me with his net, and he has fenced up my way, so I cannot be free. He has stripped me of my glory and taken the crown from my head. He has destroyed me on every side until my hope is dead. For I know that my Redeemer liveth, and that he shall stand at the latter day upon the earth, in the hollow of the land. And though after my skin worms destroy this body and this frame, yet in my flesh shall I see God, glory of his name, whom I shall see for myself, and mine eyes shall behold, not as a stranger, but as a fire that's burning through the coal. My Redeemer liveth through the ashes and the pain. My that they were graven with an iron pen and lead for all to look in the rock forever. For my reins are consumed within me, looking for the day when the spirit shall finally be free. But she should say, why persecute we him? Seeing the root of the matter is found in me, and the labor and the fruit. Be afraid of the sword, for wrath brings the punishment, that ye may know there is a judgment and a holy settlement. My kinsfolk have failed, and my familiar friends have forgot. They that dwell in mine house count me for a stranger in my plot. But the witness is in heaven, and the record is on high, a silver cord of hope beneath the turning of the sky. For I know that my Redeemer liveth, and that he shall stand at the latter day upon the earth, and the hollow of the He shall be rooted out of his tabernacle, and his trust shall be brought to the King of terrors, and the silence of the dust. His confidence is broken, and his memory shall fade like a phantom in the garden where the promises were made. Brimstone shall be scattered upon his habitation and his name, leaving nothing but the ashes and the shadow of the shame. The King of terrors waiting at the gate. The King of terrors, the master of the fate. Then answered Bildad the Shuhite, how long will it be before you make an end of words and listen unto me? Wherefore are we counted as beasts and reputed vile in sight? He tears himself in his anger in the middle of the night. Shall the earth be forsaken for thee, or the rock be removed out of his place? Just because your spirit is unmoved. Yeah, the light of the wicked shall be put out, and the spark of his fire shall not shine, leaving him within the dark. The light shall be dark in his tabernacle, and his lamp shall die. The steps of his strength shall be straightened beneath the hollow sky. For he is cast into a net by his own weary feet. He walks upon a snare in the middle of the street. The gent shall take him by the heel, and the robber shall prevail. The snare is laid for him in the ground to end the bitter tale. Terror shall make him afraid on every side, and shall drive him to his feet until there's nothing left to keep him alive. His roots shall be dried up beneath and above his branch cut off, he shall have neither son nor nephew. While the people scoff, they that come after him shall be astonished at his day, as they that went before were affrighted by the way. He shall be rooted out of his tabernacle, and his trust shall be brought to the King of terrors, and the silence of the dust, the King of terrors. Surely such are the dwellings of the wicked. The King of terrors. The King of terrors. My breath is corrupt, my days are extinct, the graves are ready for me. In the shadow of the valley, in the silence of the sea, are there not mockers with me? And does not mine eye continue in their provocation, tearing at the spirit and the sinew? Lay down now, put me in the surety with thee, I pray. Who is he that will strike hands with me along the weary way? For thou hast hid their heart from understanding in the light. Therefore shalt thou not exalt them in the middle of the night. My breath is corrupt, the fire's burning low. My breath is corrupt, with nowhere left to go. He has made me also a byword of the people in the street, and aforetime I was as a tabret with the music in my feet. Mine eye also is dim by reason of the sorrow and the pain, and all my members are as a shadow crying in the rain. My breath is corrupt, the end is drawing near. My breath is corrupt in the hollow of the fear. Upright men shall be astonished at this, and the innocent shall stir himself against the hypocrite and the things that did occur. The righteous also shall hold on his way through the dark and through the cold, and he that has clean hands shall be stronger than the gold. But as for you all, do ye return, and come now if you must. For I cannot find one wise man among you in the dust. My days are past, my purposes are broken off and fled, even the thoughts of my heart, which are numbering the dead. If I wait, the grave is mine house. I have made my bed in dark. I have said to corruption, thou art my father, and the spark of hope is gone. Where is now my hope? Who shall see it fade? They shall go down to the bars of the pit, where the dust is laid. My breath is corrupt, the fire is burning low. My breath is corrupt, with nowhere left to go. My breath is corrupt, the grave is waiting. My breath is corrupt, the grave is waiting. Then Job answered and said, I have heard many such things. Miserable comforters are ye all, with the poison and the stings. Shall vain words have an end? Or what emboldens thee to speak? I also could speak as ye do, if your soul were far too weak. If your soul were in my soul's stead, I could heap up words of pride and shake my head at you, with nowhere left for you to hide. But I would strengthen you with my mouth and the moving of my lips. Should I assuage your grief in the shadow of the soul's eclipse? Miserable comforters, casting stones within the dust, with the iron of your judgment and the silver of your wrath. Though I speak, my grief is not assuaged, and though I forbear, what am I east of in the middle of the heavy prayer? But now he has made me weary, thou hast made desolate all my company and my life behind the silent heavy wall. Miserable comforters, you do not know the pain. Miserable comforters, crying in the rain. He tears me in his wrath, who hates me, he gnashes with his teeth. Mine enemy sharpens his eyes upon the soul that's underneath. They have gaped upon me with their mouth, they have smitten my cheek reproachfully. They gathered themselves against the tired and the weak. God has delivered me to the ungodly and turned me over to the hands of the wicked ones who wander through the dry and weary lands. I was at ease, but he has broken me asunder in the light. He has also taken me by my neck and shaken me with might. My face is foul with weeping, on my eyelids is a shade of the shadow of the death, where the promises were made not for any injustice in mine hands. Also my prayer is pure. Oh, earth, cover not my blood while I struggle to endure. Miserable comforters, casting stones within the dust, with the iron of your judgment invisible comforter. Man that is born of a woman is a few and weary days, and full of trouble in the middle of the world's heavy maze. He comes forth like a flower and is cut down by the hand. He flees also as a shadow across the dry and weary land, and continues not. And dost thou open thine eyes upon such a one, and bringest me into judgment beneath the turning of the sun. The flower and the shadow, fading in the light. The flower and the shadow, in the middle of the night. Who can bring a clean thing out of an unclean? Not one. Seeing his days are determined and his labors never done. The number of his months are with thee, thou hast set his bounds, that he cannot pass beyond the silver of the holy grounds. Turn from him that he may rest till he shall accomplish as an hireling his day and the things that he would wish. For there is hope of a tree, if it be cut down to the floor, that it will sprout again, and the tender branch be at the door. Though the root thereof wax old in the earth and in the cold, and the stock thereof die in the ground, as the stories have been told. Yet through the scent of water it will bud and bring forth boughs, like a plant that's waking up from the silence of its vows. But man dies and wastes away, yeah, man gives up the ghost. And where is he? Along the silent and the lonely coast, as the waters fail from the sea and the flood decays and dries. So man lies down and rises not beneath the hollow skies, till the heavens be no more. They shall not awake from sleep, nor be raised out of their slumber in the valley and the deep. Oh, that thou wouldest hide me in the grave and in the shade, that thou wouldest keep me secret until thy wrath is stayed. Man that is born of a woman is a few and weary days, and full of trouble in the middle of the world's heavy maze. The flower and the shadow, 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 shadow. If a man die, shall he live again? The flower and the shadow. And Job answered and said, no doubt but ye are the men, and wisdom shall die with you now and ever again. But I haven't understanding as well as you. I am not inferior. Yea, who knows not such things as these in the world's interior? I am as one marked of his neighbor, who calls upon the Lord and he answers him. The just upright man is laughed at and ignored. He that is ready to slip with his feet is as a lamp despised. In the thought of him that is at ease and never was surprised, wisdom dies with you, or so you like to think, while you're standing on the edge of the Spirit's heavy brink. The tabernacles of robbers prosper, and they that provoke God are secure, into whose hand he brings the fire and the smoke. But ask now the beasts, and they shall teach thee in the field, and the fowls of the air, and the secrets they shall yield. Wisdom dies with you, but the earth knows more. Wisdom dies with you at the closing of the door. Or speak to the earth, and it shall teach thee of the way, and the fishes of the sea shall declare it in the day. Who knows not in all these that the hand of the Lord has wrought everything that's lived and died, in whose hand is the soul of every living thing that's born, and the breath of all mankind from the night until the morn. Does not the ear try words, and the mouth taste its own meat? With the ancient is wisdom, and in length of days the seed. With him is wisdom and strength, he is counsel and the might. Behold, he breaks down, and it cannot be built up in the light. He shuts up a man, and there can be no opening of the wall. He withholds the waters, and they dry up at the call. Wisdom dies with you, or so you like to think, while you're standing on the edge of the Spirit's heavy brink. Wisdom dies with you. For a vain man would be wise, though he's born a wild as his coat, trying to find the thunder in the middle of the boat. If thou prepare thine heart and stretch out thy hands toward the sky, maybe the shadow of the death will pass the spirit by. But the eyes of the wicked shall fail, and they shall not escape. Their hope shall be as the giving up of the ghost in every shape. Hollow man, searching for the light. Hollow in the middle of the night. And then answered Zophar the Naamathite with words of fire and stone. Should not the multitude of words be answered on the throne? Should thy lies make men hold their peace? And when thou mockest, so shall no man make thee ashamed of the things that we all know. For thou hast said, my doctrine is pure, and I am clean in thy sight. But oh, that God would speak and open his lips within the night, and that he would show thee the secrets of wisdom, that they are double to that which is. Know that God exacts of thee less than thy trouble. Canst thou by searching find out God? Canst thou find out the end of the Almighty to perfection, my broken-hearted friend? It is as high as heaven. What canst thou do in thy despair? Deeper than hell, what canst thou know of what is waiting there? Thereof is longer than the earth and than the sea. If he cut off and shut up, who can hinder or set free? For he knows vain men, he sees wickedness also in the line. Will he not then consider it by the power of the divine? If iniquity be in thy hand, put it far away from thee, and let not wickedness dwell in thy tabernacles by the sea. For then shalt thou lift up thy face without a spot or stain. Yeah, thou shalt be steadfast and shalt not fear the rain. For a vain man would be wise, though he's born a wild ass his coat, trying to find the thunder in the middle of the boat. Hollow my soul is weary of my life. I will leave my complaint free. I will speak in the bitterness of my soul upon the sea. How I will say unto God, do not condemn me without a cause. Show me wherefore thou contendest with me and thy laws. Is it good unto thee that thou shouldest oppress and despise the work of thine own hands before the shadow of my eyes? Haste thou eyes of flesh, or seest thou as a mortal man? Are thy days as the days of man within a narrow span? Take me to the land of darkness and the shadow of the dead, where the light is as the darkness and the cold is in the breath. A land without any order, where the silver turns to gray and the night is the only thing that's left within the day. Thy hands have made and fashioned me together round about, yet thou dost destroy me in the middle of the doubt. The land of darkness, where the silence is so deep. The land of darkness, where the broken hearted sleep. Remember, I beseech thee that thou hast made me as the clay, and wilt thou bring me into dust again along the way? Hast thou not poured me out as milk and curdled me like cheese, clothed me with skin and flesh and fenced my bones with ease? Thou hast granted me life and favor, and thy visitation's light has preserved my spirit in the middle of the night. These things hast thou hidden at heart. I know it's with thee. If I sin, then thou markest me and won't let my spirit free. If I be wicked, woe unto me, and if I be righteous still, yet will I not lift up my head against thy heavy will. I am full of confusion, therefore see thou my distress, for it increases, and thou huntest me within the wilderness. Take me to the land of darkness and the shadow of the dead, where the light is as the darkness and the cold is in the breath. The land of darkness, before I go whence I shall not return. The land of darkness. Then Job answered and said, I know it is so of a truth. I've heard the ancient proverbs since the days of all my youth. But how should man be just with God, who sits upon the throne? If he will contend with him, he cannot answer for his own. Not one of 1,000 questions could he answer in the light. For he is wise in heart and mighty in the power and the might. Who has hardened himself against him and has prospered in the race, which removes the mountains, and they know not in their place. How should men be just? How should he even stand before the one who shakes the earth and the hollow of the land, which commands the sun, and it rises not upon the day? sea and of the darkness and the silence of the graves. How should man be just in the presence of the fire? How should man be just with the heart's one true desire? Makes Arcturus Orion and Pleiades in the sky, and the chambers of the south where the hidden secrets lie, which does great things past finding out, yeah, wonders without end. Lo, he goes by me and I see him not, my brother and my perceive him not at all. If he takes away, who can hinder him or answer to the call? Who will say unto him, what dost thou in the middle of the work? When the helpers of the proud do stoop where the heavy dangers lurk. If I wash myself with snow water and make my hands so clean, yet shalt thou plunge me in the ditch where the darkness is so keen, and my own clothes shall abhor me, for he is not a man as I, that I should answer him, and we should come to judgment in the sky. How should man be just? How should he even stand before the one who shakes the earth and the hollow of the land? How should man be just? How should man be just? Speak these things. How long will it be that the words of thy mouth be like a strong wind on the sea? Does God pervert the judgment? Does the Holy One do wrong? Or is there a reason for the silence in the middle of the song? If thy children sinned against him, they were cast away in pride. But if thou would seek him early, there'd be nowhere left to hide. A breath of wind shaking all the leaves, a breath of wind for the heart that grieves. Hey, then answered Bill at the shore height with a voice of ancient law. Inquire, I pray thee, of the former age, in silence and all. For we are but of yesterday, and we know nothing at all. Because our days upon the earth are a shadow on the wall. Shall not they teach thee and tell thee and utter words of heart? Can the rush grow up without the mire, or the waters part? While it is yet in greenness and not cut down by the hand, it withers before any other herb across the weary land. So are the paths of all that forget God in their way, and the hypocrite's home shall perish in the middle of the day. Whose hope shall be cut off, and whose trust is a spider's web. When the tide of life is turning, and the spirit's at the ebb, he shall lean upon his house, but it shall not stand the blow. He shall hold it fast, but it shall not endure the things we know. Behold, God will not cast away a perfect man or soul, neither will he help the evildoers to reach the final goal. Till he fill thy mouth with laughing and thy lips with rejoicing cry, while they that hate thee shall be clothed with shame beneath the sky. But Job looked at his hands and saw the boils and the dust, and wondered how a man could find a way to stay so just. How long will you speak these things? How long will it be that the words of thy mouth be like a strong wind on the sea, a breath of wind? But I am not a hypocrite, a breath of wind. Oh, that my grief were thoroughly weighed in the scale, and my calamity laid in the balance of the tale. For now it would be heavier than the sand of all the sea. Therefore my words are swallowed up in the pain that's inside me. For the arrows of the Almighty are within me, and they burn. The poison whereof drinks up my spirit at every single turn. The terrors of the Holy One do set themselves in line against a broken-hearted man who's lost the grace divine. Does a wild ass pray when he has the grass to eat, or lulls the ox over his fodder in the middle of the heat? Can that which is unsavory be eaten without salt? Or is there any taste in a white of egg without a fault? The things that my soul refused to touch are as my soft for me, falling like the ashes in the middle of the street. The weight of my grief, more than I can bear. The weight of my grief in the hollow of the prayer. And should I yet have comfort in the middle of the day, I would harden myself in sorrow, let him not spare the blow. For I have not concealed the words of the Holy One I know. What is my strength that I should hope or wait for any end? Is my strength the strength of stones, or my flesh of brass, my friend? To him that is afflicted, pity should be shown from instead of casting heavy stones and the judging of each other. My brethren have dealt deceitfully as a brook that passes by, as the stream of brooks they pass away beneath the summer sky. Thoroughly weighed in the scale, and my calamity laid in the balance of the tale. The weight of my grief, I am alone. The weight of my grief. Behold, happy is the man whom God corrects and tries. Therefore despise not the chastening of the one within the skies. For he makes sore and binds up, he wounds and his hands heal. In the middle of the sorrow and the turning of the wheel, he shall deliver thee in 6 troubles, and in 7 no ill shall touch the weary spirit, or the bending of the will. Despise not the chastening, it's the medicine of the soul. Despise not the chastening until you are made whole. In famine he shall redeem thee from the shadow of the death, and in war from the power of the sword and of the breath. Thou shalt be hid from the scourge of the tongue and of the lie, neither shalt thou be afraid when destruction's drawing nigh. At destruction and famine thou shalt laugh with all thy might, neither shalt thou be afraid of the beast within the night. For thou shalt be in league with the stones upon the field, and the beast shall be at peace with the truth that thou shalt yield. Thou shalt know that thy tabernacle shall be in peace and grace, and thou shalt visit thy habitation and not sin in the place. Thou shalt know also that thy seed shall be a great and many band, and thine offspring as the grass of the wild and weary land. Thou shalt come to thy grave in a full and ripe old age, like a shock of corn comes in its season to the final stage. Lo, this we have searched it, and it's true in every line. Hear it and know it for thy good by the promise of the divine. But Job sat in the ashes with the boils upon his skin, hearing all the promises the spirit is too broken and the heart is far too bleak. Behold, happy is the man whom God corrects and tries. Therefore despise not the chastening of the one within the skies. Despise not the chastening. Despise not the chastening. But what of the pain? Despise not the chastening. Then in the leaf as the night began to speak his mind. If we essay to commune with thee, will it be unkind? Behold, thou hast instructed many and strengthened weary hands. Thy words have upheld him that was fallen in the land. But now it is come upon thee, and thou fadest in the light. It touches thee, and thou art troubled in the middle of the night. Remember, I pray thee, whoever perished being pure, or where were the righteous cut off while they could endure? A thing was secretly brought to me, a whisper in the ear, in thoughts from the visions of the night when deep sleep is near. Fear came upon me, and trembling made my bones to shake. A spirit passed before my face and made my spirit wait. Stood still, but I could not discern the form of what I saw. An image was before mine eyes, in silence and in awe. The vision in the night, can a mortal man be just? The vision in the night, when we're made of only dust. Shall mortal man be more just than God who sits above? Shall a man be more pure than the maker of his love? Behold, he put no trust in his servants, and he charged his angels with the folly that the darkness had enlarged. How much less than the dwelling houses made of clay, whose foundation is in the dust and crumble in a day. They are destroyed from morning until evening, and they fall. They perish forever without any man to hear the call. Call now, if there be any that will answer to thy cry. To which of the saints wilt thou turn beneath the hollow sky? For wrath kills the foolish man, and envy slays the one who wanders in the shadows when the light of day is done. After this opened Job his mouth and cursed his day of birth, crying out in agony to the corners of the earth. Let the day perish wherein I was born and brought to light, and the night in which it was said, a man-child is in sight. Let that day be darkness, let not God regard it from above, neither let the light shine on it with the memory of love. Let darkness in the shadow of the death stain all the air. Let a cloud dwell on it in the blackness of despair. Let the day perish, let the light go cold. Let the story of my life never once be told. Why died I not from the womb? Why did I not expire? Instead of being thrown into the middle of the fire. Now I should have lain still and been quiet in the sleep, in the silence of the valley where the shadows are so deep. Let the day perish into the void. Let the day perish, completely destroyed. There the wicked cease from troubling, and the weary be at rest. No more burden on the spirit, or the aching of the chest. There the prisoners rest together, they hear not the taskmaster's voice. The small and great are there, and they have no other choice. Wherefore is light given to him that is in misery and pain, and life unto the bitter soul who's crying in the rain, which long for death, but it comes not, and dig for it like gold, more than for the treasures that the ancient kings have told. For my sighing comes before I eat, and my roarings are like sea. The thing I greatly feared is come right down on me. I was not in safety, neither had I rest or quietness. Yet the trouble came and filled the heart with nothing but distress. Let the day perish, let the light go cold. Let the story of my life never once be told. Let the day perish. Let the day perish. Why is light given? Let the day perish. 7 days and 7 nights without a single word. The loudest of the lamentations that was never even heard. Sitting in the ashes with the friends of long ago, watching all the bitterness and the sorrow start to grow. No one spoke a whisper, for they saw that grief was great, leaning on the silence and the heavy hand of fate. The 7 days of the hollow sound, the 7 days on the frozen ground. Now when Job's 3 friends had heard of all this evil case, they came from every country to the dark and lonely place. Eliphaz and Bildad and Zophar from the south, with a mourning in the spirit and a prayer within the mouth. They lifted up their eyes and knew him not from where they stood. In the wreckage of his life and the burning of the wood, they sprinkled dust upon their heads and wept toward the sky, waiting for the broken man to tell them how and why. The sun went down in news and the moon began to climb, counting all the seconds in the treasury of time. Job sat among the ruins of his children and his pride, with the boils upon his skin and the emptiness inside. His friends were like the shadows that are painted on the wall, witness to the agony and the rhythm of the fall. A week of heavy breathing, a week of frozen tears, before the dam began to break on the mountain of the fears. Silence is a hammer that can break the heart of stone. Silence is the garment of the man who's all alone. But when the mouth finally opens and the cry begins to rise, the thunder starts to gather in the middle of the sky. 7 days, 7 nights without a word. The loudest of the lamentations that was never even heard. 7 days, 7 days. Oh, 7 days and 7 days. 7 days and 7 days. The breaking point, the 7 days. Then Job arose and rent his mantle, shaved his weary head, falling down upon the ground where the shadows were spread. No cry of anger to the sky, no curse upon the name, just the heavy weight of sorrow and the flickering of the flame. He worshipped in the ashes of the world he used to know, while the rivers of his memory began to overflow. He looked upon his empty hands, the hands that once were full, feeling all the gravity and the Spirit's heavy pull. Naked I came from my mother's womb, and naked I return to the silence of the earth and the lessons that I learned. The Lord gave and the Lord has taken. taken it away. Blessed be the name of him who rules the night and day. In all this he sinned not, nor charged his God with wrong. Even when the morning was the only lingering song. Naked I came to the dust and stone. Naked I came, standing all alone. Again there was a day when the sons of God appeared, and the accuser came among them with the thing that Job had feared. Skin for skin, the shadow said, all a man has he will give, to save his own anatomy and the right for him to live. But put forth now thy hand and touch his bone and his flesh, and he will curse thee to thy face within the tangled mesh. The word was spoken once again, he is in thy hand, but save his life, for he must stay upon the weary land. From the sole of his foot to the crown of his head, sore boils in the burning where the sickness was spread. He took a potsherd to scrape his skin in the ash, feeling all the bitterness of the Spirit's heavy lash. Naked I came. Naked I came from my mother's womb, and naked I'll return to the silence of the earth and the lessons that I learned. Naked I came. Shall we receive good and not evil? Naked I came. Four winds blowing, four messengers of dread, bringing news of ashes and the rising of the dead. Fire from the heavens and the edge of every sword, testing all the patience and the promise of the Lord. Four winds tearing down the wall, four winds watching everything fall. The first one came running with the dust upon his face. The Simons took the oxen and they desolated the place. They have slain the servants with the edge of every blade, and I price we paid. While he was yet speaking, came another from the hill. The fire of God is fallen, and the sheep are lying still. It has burned up all the shepherds in the middle of the field, and I only am escaped alone to tell the truth revealed. The third one came with trembling. The Chaldeans made a raid. They fell upon the camels, and the havoc they have played. Slain the servants, stolen all, a darkness in the street, and I only am escaped alone with the dust upon my feet. But while he yet was speaking, the last one reached the door with the heaviest of tidings that any spirit ever bore. Thy sons and thy daughters were drinking in their pride when a great wind from the wilderness hit the house upon the side. The corners of the house collapsed, the roof began to fall. Death was in the laughter and the silence of the hall. In a single hour of the day, the world was stripped and bare, leaving only hollow echoes in the cold and bitter air. Four winds blowing, four messengers of dread, bringing news of ashes and the rising of the dead. Four winds, everything is gone. Four winds, everything is gone. Four winds, four winds. There was a man in the land of Uz, perfect and so right, fearful of the Holy One, and turning from the night. 7 sons and daughters 3, a circle in the sun, with thousands of the silver sheep before the day was done. He rose up in the morning light to offer up the prayer, lest his children curse their God, while joy was in the air. A wall of mercy stood around his house, and all he had. The world was full of goodness then, and nothing made him sad. He lived inside the hedge, the blessing of the hand, the richest of the eastern sons, across the golden land. But in the halls of heaven, a shadow started to play, a question for the faithful man at the closing of the day. Does he fear for nothing? The accuser's voice was cold. Take away the hedge and see if his heart remains as gold. The hedge of hedge, standing strong and high. The hedge of hedge, Hast thou not made an hedge about his house and all his kin? But put forth now thy hand and touch the world that he is in. No, he will curse thee to thy face when the silver turns to dust, when the iron of his spirit feels the burning of the rust. Then the word was spoken, behold, all that he has is yours. Only on the man himself, don't close the final doors. The sun was high and who's that day? The cattle grazed the grass, knowing not the storm of fire that was soon to come to pass. One moment is a mountain, the next is but a grave. The difference between the glory and the coming of the rain. The shadow crossed the threshold, the wind began to moan. The hedge was being lowered for the man upon the throne. He lived inside the hedge, the blessing of the hedge, the richest of the eastern sons, across the golden land. The hedge of hedge, the hedge of hedge, the calm before the storm. The hedge of hedge, the hedge of hedge. So the Lord bless the latter end of Job more than his start, giving peace unto the spirit and the healing to the heart. 14,000 sheep and the camels in the sun, a double portion for the man whose race was nearly run. 7 sons and daughters, 3, the fairest in the land, restored by the mercy and the power of the hand. The latter end more beautiful than gold. The latter end, the story that was told. So fair as Joe's own seed, Jemima and Keziah and Karen that bush indeed. And their father gave them inheritance among their brethren there, in a world that was renewed by the answer to the prayer. After this lived Job 140 years of grace, and saw his sons and sons and sons in that quiet holy place, even 4 generations as the seasons turned to gray, until he died being old and full of days along the way. Job is over and the morning shining bright. The mystery is deeper than the darkness or the light. We may not know the wherefore or the why of every pain, but we know the voice that's calling in the middle of the rain. The hedge may fall, the wind may blow, the silver cord may break, but the Redeemer liveth for the lonely spirit's sake. So let the music fade into the peace that has no end, with the Creator and the Master and the brother and the friend. From the ashes to the glory, from the boils to the light, the story of the faithful man who stood within the night. The night of Job is finished, but the song is just begun, beneath the mercy of the Father and the turning of the sun. So the Lord bless the latter end of Job more than his start, giving peace unto the spirit and the healing to the heart. Job answered the Lord and said, I know that thou canst do everything, and that no thought can be withholden from you. Who is he that hides counsel without knowledge or the light? Therefore have I uttered that I understood not in the night things too wonderful for me, which I knew not in my soul, trying to find a meaning and a way to take control. Here I beseech thee, and I will speak, I will demand of thee, and declare thou unto me, and let my spirit finally be free. I have heard of thee by the hearing of the ear, but now mine eye sees thee in the holy quiet fear. Wherefore I abhor myself and repent in dust and ash, in the middle of the silence and the Spirit's heavy lash. The questions have been answered by the presence of the fire. The vanity is gone before the heart's one true desire. Dust and ashes, where the pride begins to die. Dust and ashes, beneath the glory of the sky. I am vile, what shall I answer thee? I will lay my hand upon my mouth, for I have spoken once across the land, yea, twice, but I will proceed no further in the race. Job bowed his weary head within that dark and lonely place. The boils were still upon him, and the children were still gone, but the shadow of the whirlwind was the breaking of the dawn. For to see the face of God is enough for any man to trust the hidden mystery and the turning of the plan. The friends were silent now, for their words were found so small beside the thunder of the voice and the shadow of the wall. The Lord's wrath was kindled against the three who spoke the lie, but Job would pray for them beneath the turning of the sky. I have heard of thee by the hearing of the ear, but now mine eye sees thee in the holy quiet fear. Dust and ashes, I repent. Dust and ashes, wilt thou hunt the prey for the lion, or fill the appetite of the young lions when they couch in the middle of the night? Who provides for the raven his food when his young ones cry? Unto God they wander for lack of meat beneath the sky. Knowest thou the time when the wild goats of the rock bring forth? Or canst thou mark when the hinds do calve in the south and in the north? Who has sent out the wild ass free, or loose the bands of the strong? Who scorns the multitude of the city and the labor and the song? He is the master of the wild, the king of every breath. From the eagle in the heavens to the valley of the dead. Does the hawk fly by thy wisdom and stretch her wings to south? Does the eagle mount up at thy command and the words of thy mouth? She dwells and abides on the rock upon the crag. Her eyes behold afar off in the middle of the light. The master of the wild, watching every field. The master of the wild, to whom the secrets yield. Thou clothe his neck with fire. He paws in the valley and rejoices in his strength and his desire. He goes on to meet the army. He mocks at every fear. He swallows the ground with fierceness when the trumpet's sounding near. He says among the trumpets, ha, ha, and he smells the war afar. The thunder of the captains and the shouting where they are. Canst thou draw out Leviathan with an hook or with a line? Will he make many supplications or a covenant divine? Behold now behemoth which I made with thee is one. He eats grass as an ox beneath the turning of the sun. His strength is in his loins and his force is in his frame. A masterpiece of power and the glory of the name. He's the master of the wild, the king of every breath. From the eagle in the heavens to the valley of the master of the wild. Who is this that darkens counsel by words without the light? Gird up now thy loins like a man and stand within the might. For I will demand of thee, and answer thou me now. In the middle of the whirlwind, with the dust upon thy brow, where wast thou when I laid the foundations of the earth? Declare if thou hast understanding of the mystery and the birth. Out of the whirlwind, the voice begins to roar. Out of the whirlwind, like nothing heard before. Who has laid the measures thereof, or who has stretched the line upon the corners of the world by the masonry divine, whereupon all the foundations thereof fastened in the deep. Oh, who laid the cornerstone while the morning stars did weep, and all the sons of God shouted for the joy and for the grace, when the light was first divided in the hollow of the space. Oh, who shut up the sea with doors when it brake forth and ran from the womb of the beginning, far beyond the reach of man? Oh, hitherto shalt thou come, but no further was the word, and here shall thy proud waves be stayed, the only command heard. Haste thou, command at the morning, since thy days began to be, and cause the day spring to know his place across the silver sea. And have the gates of death been opened unto thee, or hast thou seen the doors of the shadow of the death, where the darkness is so keen? Declare if thou knowest it all, where is the way where light dwells? And as for darkness, where is the place and the secrets that it tells? Canst thou bind the sweet influences of Pleiades above, or loose the bands of Orion with the power and the love of? Canst thou bring forth Mazzaroth in his season and his turn, or canst thou guide Arcturus with his sons while the stars burn? Who is this that darkens counsel by words without the light? Gird up now thy loins like a man, and stand within the might, out of the whirlwind. Answer me. So these three men ceased to answer Job, for he was right in his own eyes, and standing firm within the middle of the night. Then was kindled the wrath of Elihu, the son of Barachel, the Buzite, against Job, because he justified his soul beneath the light. I am young and ye are very old, wherefore I was afraid, and durst not show you my opinion or the choices I have made. I said they should speak, and multitude of years should teach, but there is a spirit in that the wisdom has to reach. It's the breath of the Almighty, giving understanding soul beyond the age and silver hair and the human self-control. Great men are not always wise, neither do the aged know the judgment of the Spirit as the seasons come and go. For God is greater than man. Why dost thou strive against his hand? Gives not an account of any of his matters in the land. Ooh, the breath of the Almighty stirring in the deep. The breath of the Almighty waking those who sleep. God speaks once, yet twice, yet man perceives it not at all. In a dream, in a vision of the night, before the shadows fall, then he opens the ears of men and seals their instruction fast, to withdraw man from his purpose while the light is meant to last. If there be a messenger with him, an interpreter, one among 1,000, to show unto man his uprightness with a tongue, then he's gracious unto him and says, deliver him from the pit. I have found a ransom for the soul, and every part of it. His flesh shall be fresher than a child's. He shall return again to the days of his youth, and leave behind the shadow and the pain. He shall pray unto God, and he will be favorable and true. He shall see his face with joy in everything he'll do. It's the breath of the Almighty, giving understanding soul beyond the age and silver hair and the human self-control. The breath of the Almighty. Listen to me, the breath of the Almighty. But Job answered and said, hear diligently my speech, and let this be your consolations and the lessons that you teach. Suffer me that I may speak, and after that I have spoken, mark on. Is my complaint, man? Why should my spirit not be gone? Mark me and be astonished, and lay your hand upon your mouth. Even when I remember, I am afraid. From the north unto the south, wherefore do the wicked live? Become old, yeah, mighty in power. Their seed is established in their sight, and every single hour the prosperity of the vile. They spend their days in wealth, with the houses safe from fear, and the beauty and the health. They take the timbrel and the harp, and rejoice at the sound of the organ and the music that is waiting to be found. They say under God, depart from us, for we desire not the way of thy knowledge or thy light in the middle of the day. The prosperity of the vile, it's a riddle in the street. The prosperity of the vile, with the bitter and the sweet. What is the Almighty that we should serve him? They will cry. And what profit should we have if we pray unto the sky? Lo, their good is not in their hand. The counsel of the wicked is far from me. How oft is the candle of the wicked put out like a star? And how oft comes their destruction upon them? God distributes sorrows in his anger to the one who never tributes. They are as stubble before the wind and as chaff that the storm carries away, while the world is still quiet and so warm. One dies in his full strength, being wholly at ease and quiet. His breasts are full of milk and his bones are free from riot. And another dies in the bitterness of his soul and never eats. With pleasure they shall lie down alike in the dust of the streets. The prosperity of the vile, they spend their days in wealth, with the houses safe from fear, and the beauty and the health. The prosperity of the vile, how then comfort ye me in vain? The prosperity of the vile, how then comfort ye me in vain? The prosperity of the vile. This is the portion of a wicked man from God above, the heritage of oppressors, without a memory of love. Though his excellency mount up to the heavens and the height, he shall perish forever like his own dung in the night. They which have seen him shall say, where is he? And he'll fly away as a dream and shall not be found beneath the sky. The portion of the wicked, a shadow on the wall. The portion of the wicked, the rhythm of the fall. Then answers Zophar the Naamathite, my thoughts cause me to speak, because I make haste to answer for the tired and the weak. Knowest thou not this of old, since man was placed on earth, that the triumphing of the wicked is short from the day of birth, and the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment in the sun, before the darkness gathers and the race is finally run. Though wickedness be sweet in his mouth, though he hide it on the tongue, yet his meat in his bowels is turned and the poison is among. He has swallowed down riches, and he shall vomit them again. God shall cast him out of his belly in the middle of the pain. He shall suck the poison of acid, the viper's tongue shall slay. He shall not see the rivers, the floods of honey and the day. That which he labored for shall he restore, and shall not swallow. According to his substance shall the restitution follow, because fullness of His sufficiency, He shall be in straits. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon Him at the gates. When He's about to fill His belly, God shall cast the fury of His wrath upon Him, like a witness and a jury. This is a portion of a wicked man from God above, the heritage of oppressors, without a memory of love. The portion of the wicked, a fire not blown shall consume him. The portion of the wicked. How long will you vex my soul and break me in pieces with words? These 10 times have you reproached me, like the sharpenings of swords. You are not ashamed that you make yourself strange to my face. And if indeed I have erred, my error remains in its place. Know now that God has overthrown me and has compassed me with His net, and He has fenced up my way, so I cannot be free. He has stripped me of my glory and taken the crown from my head. He has destroyed me on every side until my hope is dead. For I know that my Redeemer liveth, and that He shall stand at the latter day upon the earth and the hollow of the land. And though after my skin worms destroy this body and this frame, yet in my flesh shall I see God and the glory of His name, whom I shall see for myself, and mine eyes shall behold, not as a stranger, but as a fire that's burning through the coal. My Redeemer liveth through the ashes and the pain. My Redeemer liveth, rising from the rain. Oh, that my words were now written. Oh, that they were printed in a book. That they were graven with an iron pen, and leave for all to look in the rock forever. For my reins are consumed within me, looking for the day when the Spirit shall finally be free. But ye shall say, why persecute we Him, seeing the root of the matter is found in me, and the labor and the fruit? Be ye afraid of the sword, for wrath brings the punishment, that He may know there is a judgment and a holy settlement. My kinfolk have failed, and my familiar friends have forgot. They that dwell in mine house count me for a stranger in my plot. But the witness is in heaven, and the record is on high, a silver cord of hope beneath the turning of the sky. For I know that at the latter day upon the earth and the hollow of the land. My Redeemer liveth. I shall see him for myself. He shall be rooted out of his tabernacle, and his trust shall be brought to the King of terrors and the silence of the dust. His confidence is broken, and his memory shall fade like a phantom in the garden where the promises were made. Brimstone shall be scattered upon his habitation and his name, leaving nothing but the ashes and the shadow of the shame. The King of terrors waiting at the gate. The King of terrors, the master of the Then answer Bill at the shore. How long will it be before you make an end of words and listen unto me? Wherefore are we counted as beasts and reputed vile in sight? He tears himself in his anger in the middle of the night. Shall the earth be forsaken for thee, or the rock be removed out of his place, just because your spirit is unmoved? Yeah, the light of the wicked shall be put out, and the spark of his fire shall not shine, leaving him within the dark. The light shall be dark in his tabernacle, and his lamp shall die. The steps of his strength shall be straightened beneath a hollow sky, for he is cast into a net by his own weary feet. He walks upon a snare in the middle of the street. The gin shall take him by the heel, and the robber shall prevail. The snare is laid for him in the ground to win the bitter tale. Terror shall make him afraid on every side, and shall drive him to his feet until there's nothing left to keep him alive. His roots shall be dried up beneath, and above his branch cut off. He shall have neither son nor nephew, while the people scoff. They that come after him shall be astonished at his day, as they that went before were affrighted by the way. He shall be rooted out of his tabernacle, and his trust shall be brought to the King of terrors and the silence of the dust. The King of terrors. Surely such are the dwellings of the wicked. days are extinct. The graves are ready for me. In the shadow of the valley, in the silence of the sea, are there not mockers with me? And does not mine eye continue in their provocation, tearing at the spirit and the sinew? Lay down now, put me in a shorty with thee, I pray. Who is he that will strike hands with me along the weary way? For thou hast hid their heart from understanding and the light, therefore shalt thou not exalt them in the middle of the night. My breath is corrupt, the fire's burning low. My breath is corrupt, with nowhere left to go. He has made me also a byword of the people in the street, and for a time I was as a tabret with the music in my feet. Mine eye also is dim by reason of the sorrow and the pain, and all my members are as a shadow crying in the rain. My breath is corrupt, the end is drawing near. My breath is corrupt in the hollow of the fear. Upright men shall be astonished at this, and the innocent shall stir himself against the hypocrite and the things that did occur. The righteous also shall hold on his way through the dark and through the cold, and he that has clean hands shall be stronger than the gold. But as for you all, do ye return, and come now if you must, for I cannot find one wise man among you in the dust. My days are past, my purposes are broken off and fled, even the thoughts of my heart, which are numbering the dead. If I wait, the grave is mine house. I have made my bed in dark. I have said to corruption, thou art my father, and the spark of hope is gone. Where is now my hope? Who shall see it fade? They shall go down to the bars of the pit, where the dust is laid. My breath is corrupt, the fire's burning low. My breath is corrupt, with nowhere left to go. My breath is corrupt, the grave is waiting. My breath is corrupt. Then Job answered and said, I have heard many such things. Miserable comforters are ye all, with the poison and the stings. Shall vain words have an end? Oh, what emboldens thee to speak? I also could speak as ye do, if your soul were far too weak. If your soul were in my soul stead, I could heap up words of pride and shake my head at you, with nowhere left for you to hide. But I would strengthen you with my mouth and the moving of my company and my life behind the silent heavy wall. Miserable comforters, you do not know the pain. Miserable comforters, crying in the rain. He tears me in his wrath who hates me. He gnashes with his teeth. Mine enemy sharpens his eyes upon the soul that's underneath. They have gaped upon me with their mouth. They have smitten my cheek. Reproachfully they gather themselves against the tired and the weak. God has delivered me to the ungodly and turned me over to the hands of the wicked ones who wander through the dry and weary lands. I was at ease, but he has broken me asunder in the light. He has also taken me by my neck and shaken me with might. My face is foul with weeping, and on my eyelids is the shade of the shadow of the death where the promises were made. Not for any injustice in mine hands, also my prayer is pure. O earth, cover not my blood while I struggle to endure. Miserable comforters, casting stones within the dust, with the iron of your judgment and the silver of your rust. Miserable comforters, my friends scorn me. Miserable comforters, miserable comforters, miserable comforters. Man that is born of a woman is a few and weary days, and full of trouble in the middle of the world's heavy maze. He comes forth like a flower and is cut down by the hand. He flees also as a shadow across the dry and weary land. And continues not. And dost thou open thine eyes upon such a one, and bringest me into judgment beneath the turning of the sun. The flower and the shadow, fading in the light. The flower and the shadow, in the middle of the night. Who can bring a clean thing out of an unclean? Not one. Seeing his days are determined and his labor's never done. Oh, the number of his months are with thee. Thou hast set his bounds, that he cannot pass beyond the silver of the holy grounds. Turn from him that he may rest till he shall accomplish as an hireling his day and the things that he would wish. For there is hope of a tree if it be cut down dies and wastes away. Yeah, man gives up the ghost, and where is he? Along the silent and the lonely coast, as the waters fail from the sea and the flood decays and dries, so man lies down and rises, not beneath the hollow skies. Till the heavens be no more, they shall not awake from sleep, nor be raised out of their slumber in the valley and the deep. Oh, that thou wouldest hide me in the grave and in the shade, that thou wouldest keep me secret until thy wrath is stayed. Man that is born of a woman is a few and weary days, hey, and full of trouble in the middle of the world's heavy maze. The flower and the shadow, the flower and the shadow. If a man die, shall he live again? The flower and the shadow. And Job answered and said, no doubt but ye are the men, and wisdom shall die with you, now and ever again. But I have understanding as well as you, I am not in fear. Yeah, who knows not such things as these in the world's interior? I am as one mocked of his neighbor, who calls upon the Lord, and he answers him. The just upright man is laughed at and ignored. He that is ready to slip with his feet is as a lamb despised, in the thought of him that is at ease, and never was surprised. Wisdom dies with you, or so you like to think, while you're standing on the edge of the Spirit's heavy brink. The tabernacles of robbers prosper, and they that provoke God are secure, into whose hand he brings the fire and the smoke. But ask now the beasts, and they shall teach thee in the field, and the fowls of the air, and the secrets they shall yield. Wisdom dies with you, but the earth knows more. Wisdom dies with you at the closing of the door. Or speak to the earth, and it shall teach thee of the way, and the fishes of the sea shall declare it in the day. Who knows not in all these that the hand of the Lord has wrought everything that's lived and died, and everything we've sought? In whose hand is the soul of every living thing that's born, and the breath of all mankind from the night until the morn. Does not the ear try words, and the mouth taste its own meat? With the ancient is wisdom, and in length of days the seed. With him is wisdom and strength, he is counsel in the might. Behold, he breaks down, and it cannot be built up in the light. He shuts up a man, and there can be no opening of the wall. He withholds the waters, and they dry up at the call. Wisdom dies dies with you, or so we like to think, while you're standing on the edge of the Spirit's heavy brain. Wisdom dies with you. Wisdom dies with you. Wisdom dies. You're not inferior to you. Wisdom dies with you. Wisdom dies with you. Wisdom dies with you. Wisdom dies with you. For a vain man would be wise, though he's born a wild ass is cold, trying to find the thunder in the middle of the bolt. If thou prepare thine heart and stretch out thy hands toward the sky, maybe the shadow of the death will pass the spirit by. But the eyes of the wicked shall fail, and they shall not escape. Their hope shall be as the giving up of the ghost in every shape. Hollow man, searching for the light. Hollow man, in the middle of the night. Then answers over the fight with words of fire and stone. Should not the multitude of words be answered on the throne? Oh, should thy lies make men hold their peace, and when thou mockest so, shall no man make thee ashamed of the things that we all know? For thou hast said my doctrine is pure, and I am clean in thy sight. But oh, that God would speak and open his lips within the night, that he would show thee the secrets of wisdom, that they are double to that which is. Know that God exacts of thee less than thy trouble. Canst thou by searching find out God? Canst thou find out the end of the Almighty deed to perfection, my broken-hearted friend? It is as high as heaven. What canst thou do in thy despair? Deeper than hell. What canst thou know of what is waiting there? The measure thereof is longer than the earth and than the sea. If he cut off and shut up, who can hinder or set free? For he knows vain men, he sees wickedness also in the line. Will he not then consider it by the power of the divine? If iniquity be in thine hand, put it far away from thee, and let not wickedness dwell in thy tabernacles by the sea. For then shalt thou lift up thy face without a spot or stain. Yeah, thou shalt be steadfast and shalt not fear the rain. For a vain man would be wise, though he's born a wild ass is cold, trying to find the thunder in the middle of the boat. Hollow man, I will speak in the bitterness of my soul upon the sea. I will say unto God, do not condemn me without a cause. Show me wherefore thou contendest with me, and thy laws. Is it good unto thee that thou shouldest oppress and despise the work of thine own hands before the shadow of my eyes? Hast thou eyes of flesh, or seest thou as a mortal man? Are thy days as the days of men within a narrow span? Take me to the land of darkness and the shadow of the dead, where the light is as the darkness and the cold is in the breath. A land without any order, where the silver turns to gray, and the night is the only thing that's left within the day. Thy hands have made and fashioned me together round about, yet thou dost destroy me in the middle of the doubt. The land of darkness, where the silence is so deep. The land of darkness, where the broken-hearted sleep. Remember, I beseech thee, that thou hast made me as the clay, and wilt thou bring me into dust again along the way? Hast thou not poured me out as milk, and curdled me like cheese, clothed me with skin and flesh, and fenced my bones with ease? Thou hast granted me life and favor, and thy visitation's light has preserved my spirit in the middle of the night. And these things hast thou hid in thine heart, I know it's with thee. If I sin, then thou markest me, and won't let my spirit free. If I be wicked, woe unto me, and if I be righteous still, yet will I not lift up my head against thy heavy will. I am full of confusion, therefore see thou my distress, for it increases, and thou huntest me within the wilderness. Take me to the land of darkness and the shadow of the death, where the light is as the darkness and the cold is in the breath. The land of darkness. Before I go, whence I shall not return. The land of darkness. Then Job answered and said, I know it is so of a truth. I've heard the ancient proverbs since the days of all my youth. But how should man be just with God, who sits upon the throne? If he will contend with him, he cannot answer for his own. Not one of 1,000 could he answer in the light. For he is wise in heart and mighty in the power and the might, who has hardened himself against him and has prospered in the race, which removes the mountains, and they know not in their place. How should man be just? How should he even stand before the one who shakes the earth and the hollow of the land, which commands the sun and it rises not upon the day, and seals up all the stars along the silver Milky Way, which alone spreads out the heavens and treads upon the waves of the sea and of the darkness and the silence of the graves. How should man be just in the presence of the fire? How should man be just with the heart's one true desire? Which makes Arcturus Orion and Pleiades in the sky, and the chambers of the south where the hidden secrets lie, which does great things past finding out, yea, wonders without end. Lo, he goes by me and I see him not, my brother and my friend. He passes on also, but I perceive him not at all. If he takes away, who can hinder him or answer to the call? Who will say unto him, what doest thou in the middle of the work? When the helpers of the proud do stoop where the heavy dangers lurk. If I wash myself with snow water and make my hands so clean, yet shalt thou plunge me in the ditch where the darkness is so keen, and my own clothes shall abhor me, for he is not a man as I, that I should answer him, and we should come to judgment in the sky. How should man be just? How should he even stand before the one who shakes the earth and the hollow of the land? How should man be just? There is no days man be twisted. How should man be just? How should man be just? How long will you speak these things? How long will it be that the words of thy mouth be like a strong wind on the sea, Does God pervert the judgment? Does the Holy One do wrong? Or is there a reason for the silence in the middle of the song? If thy children sinned against him, they were cast away in pride. But if thou would seek him early, there'd be nowhere left to hide. A breath of wind, shaking all the leaves. A breath of wind for the heart that grieves. Then answered Bildad the Shuhite with the voice of ancient law. Inquire, I pray thee, of the former age, in silence and in awe. For we are but of yesterday, and we know nothing at all. Because our days upon the earth are a shadow on the wall. Shall not they teach thee and tell thee and utter words of heart? Can the rush grow up without the mire, or the waters part while it is yet in greenness and not cut down by the hand? It withers before any other herb across the weary land. Oh, ah, ah. So are the paths of all that forget God in their way, and the hypocrite's hope shall perish in the middle of the day, whose hope shall be cut off and whose trust is a spider's web. When the tide of life is turning and the spirit's at the ebb, he shall lean upon his house, but it shall not stand the blow. He shall hold it fast, but it shall not endure the things we know. Behold, God will not cast away a perfect man or soul, neither will he help the evildoers to reach the final goal. Till he fill thy mouth with laughing and thy lips with rejoicing cry, while they that hate thee shall be clothed with shame beneath the sky. But Job looked at his hands and saw the boils and the dust, and wondered how a man could find a way to stay so just. How long will you speak these things? How long will it be that the words of thy mouth be like a strong wind on the sea, a breath of wind? A breath of wind. But I am not a hypocrite. A breath of wind. Oh, that my grief were thoroughly weighed in the scale, and my calamity laid in the balance of the tale. For now it would be heavier than the sand of all the sea. Therefore my words are swallowed up in the pain that's inside me. For the arrows of the are within me, and they burn. The poison whereof drinks up my spirit at every single turn. The terrors of the Holy One do set themselves in line against a broken-hearted man who's lost the grace divine. Does the wild ass bray when he has the grass to eat, or lows the ox over his fodder in the middle of the heat? Can that which is unsavory be eaten without salt, or is there any taste in the white of egg without a fault? The things of my soul such are as my sorrowful me, falling like the ashes in the middle of the street. The weight of my grief, more than I can bear. The weight of my grief in the hollow of the prayer. Oh, that I might my request, and that God will grant my cry, that it would please him to destroy me beneath the open sky, that he will let loose his hand and cut me from the thread. Then should I yet have comfort in the middle of the dead, I would harden myself in sorrow, let him not spare the blow. For I have not concealed the words of the Holy One. I know what is my strength, that I should hope or wait for any end. Is my strength the strength of stones, or my flesh of brass, my friend? To him that is afflicted, pity should be shown from his brother, instead of casting heavy stones and the judging of each other. My brethren have dealt deceitfully as a brook that passes by. As the stream of brooks, they pass away beneath the summer sky. Oh, that my grief were thoroughly weighed in the scale, and my calamity laid in the balance of the tale. The weight of my grief, I might feel. Behold, happy is the man whom God corrects and tries. Therefore despise not the chastening of the one within the skies. For he makes sore and binds up, he wounds and his hands heal. In the middle of the sorrow and the turning of the wheel, he shall deliver thee in 6 troubles, and in 7 no ill shall touch the weary spirit, or the bending of the will. Despise not the chastening, it's the medicine of the soul. Despise not the chastening until you are made whole. In famine he shall redeem thee from the shadow of the death, and in war from the power of the sword and of the breath. Thou shalt be hid from the scourge of the tongue and of the lie, neither shalt thou be afraid when destruction's drawing nigh. At destruction and famine thou shalt laugh with all thy might, neither shalt thou be afraid of the beast within the night. For thou shalt be in league with the stones upon the field, and the beast shall be at peace with the truth that thou shalt yield. Thou shalt know that thy tabernacle shall be in peace and grace, and thou shalt visit thy habitation and not sin in the place. Thou shalt know also that thy seed shall be a great and many band, and thine offspring as the grass of the wild and weary land. Thou shalt come to thy grave in a full and ripe old age, like a shock of corn comes in its season to the final stage. Lo, this we have searched it, and it's true in every line. Hear it and know it for thy good by the promise of the divine. But Job sat in the ashes with the boils upon his skin. He remained all the promises of the world he wasn't in. For the words of the comfortable are a burden to the weak when the spirit is too broken and the heart is far too bleak. Behold, happy is the man whom God corrects and tries. Therefore despise not the chastening of the one within the skies. Despise not the chastening. Despise not the chastening. Despise not the chastening. Despise not the chastening. Then Eliphaz the Temanite began to speak his mind. If we essay to commune with thee, will it be unkind? Behold, thou hast instructed many, strengthened weary hands. Thy words have upheld him that was falling in the lands. But now it is come upon thee, and thou fadest in the light. It touches thee, and thou art troubled in the middle of the night. Remember, I pray thee, whoever perished be impure. Oh, where were the righteous cut off while they could endure? A thing was secretly brought to me, a whisper in the ear, in thoughts from the visions of the night. When deep sleep is near, fear came upon me, and trembling made my bones to shake. A spirit passed before my face and made my spirit wake. It stood still, but I could not discern the form of what I saw. An image was before mine eyes in silence and in all the vision in the night. Can a mortal man be just the vision in the night when we're made of only dust? Shall mortal man be more just than God who sits above? Shall a man be more pure than the maker of his love? Behold, he put no trust in his servants, and he charged his angels with the folly that the darkness had enlarged. How much less in them that dwell in houses made of clay, whose foundation is in the dust and crumble in a day. They are destroyed from morning until evening, and they fall. They perish forever without any man to hear the call. Call now, if there be any that will answer to thy cry. To which of the saints wilt thou turn beneath the hollow sky? For wrath kills the foolish man, and envy slays the one who wanders in the shadows when the light of day is done. A thing much hope in Job, his mouth, and cursed his day of birth, crying out in agony to the corners of the earth. Let the day perish wherein I was born and brought to light, and the night in which it was said, a man-child is in sight. Let that day be darkness, let not God regard it from above, neither let the light shine on it with the memory of love. Let darkness and the shadow of the dead stain all the air. Let a cloud dwell on it, and the blackness of despair. Let the day perish, let the light go cold. Let the story of my life never once be told. Why died I not from the womb? Why did I not expire? Instead of being thrown into the middle of the fire. Now I should have lain still and been quiet in the sleep, in the silence of the valley where the shadows are so deep. Let the day perish into the void. Let the day perish, completely destroyed. There the wicked cease from troubling, and the weary be at rest. No more burden on the spirit, or the aching of the chest. There the prisoners rest together, they hear not the taskmaster's voice. The small and great are there, and they have no other choice. Wherefore is light given to him that is in misery and pain, and life unto the bitter soul who's crying in the rain, which long for death but it comes not, and dig for it like gold, more than for the treasures that the ancient kings have told. For my sighing comes before I eat, and my roarings are like sea. The thing I greatly feared is come right down on me. I was not in safety, neither had I rest or quietness, yet the trouble came and filled the heart with nothing but distress. Let the day perish, let the light go cold. Let the story of my life never once be told. Let the day perish. Let the day perish. Let the day perish. Seven days and 7 nights without a single word, the loudest of the lamentations that were never even heard. Sitting in the ashes with the friends of long ago, watching all the bitterness and the sorrow start to grow. No one spoke a whisper, for they saw the grief was great, leaning on the silence and the heavy hand of fate. The 7 days of the hollow sun, the 7 days on the frozen ground. Now when Job's 3 friends had heard of all this evil case, they came from every country to that dark and lonely place. Eliphaz and Bildad and Zophar from the south, with a mourning in the spirit and a prayer within the mouth. They lifted up their eyes and knew him not from where they stood, in the wreckage of his life and the burning of the wood. They sprinkled dust upon their heads and wept toward the sky, waiting for the broken man to tell them how and why. The sun went down in news and the moon began to climb, counting all the seconds in the treasury of time. Job sat among the ruins of his children and his pride, with the pores upon his skin and the emptiness inside. His friends were like the shadows that are painted on the wall, witness to the agony and rhythm of the fall. A week of heavy breathing, a week of frozen tears, before the dam began to break on the mountain of the fears. Silence is a hammer that can break the heart of stone. Silence is the garment of the man who's all alone. But when the mouth finally opens and the cry begins to rise, the thunder starts to gather in the middle of the sky. So 7 days, oh, 7 days, the 7 days. Then Job arose and rent his mantle, shaved his weary head, falling down upon the ground where the shadows were spread. No cry of anger to the sky, no curse upon the name, just the heavy weight of sorrow and the flickering of the flame. He worshipped in the ashes of the world he used to know, while the rivers of his memory began to overflow. He looked upon his empty hands, the hands that once were full, feeling all the gravity and the Spirit's heavy pull. Naked I came from my mother's womb, and naked I'll return to the silence of the earth and the lessons that I learned. The Lord gave and the Lord has taken it away. Blessed be the name of Him who rules the night and day. In all this he sinned not, nor charged his God with wrong, even when the morning was the only lingering song. Naked I came to the dust and stone. Naked I came, standing all alone. Again there was a day when the sons of God appeared, and the accuser came among them with the thing that Job had feared. Skin for skin, the shadow said, all a man has he will give to save his own anatomy and the right for him to live. But put forth now thy hand and touch his bone and his flesh, and he will curse thee to thy face within the tangled mesh. The word was spoken once again, he is in thy hand, but save his life, for he must stay upon the weary land. From the sole of his foot to the crown of his head, sore boils in the burning where the sickness was spread. He took a potsherd to scrape his skin in the ash, feeling all the bitterness of the Spirit's heavy lash. Naked I came from my mother's womb, and naked I'll return to the silence of the earth and the lessons that I learned. Naked I came, shall we receive good and not evil? Naked I came. Blowing for messengers of dread, bringing news of ashes and the rising of the dead. Fire from the heavens and the edge of every sword, testing all the patience and the promise of the Lord. Four winds tearing down the wall. Four winds watching everything fall. The first one came running with the dust upon his face. The Sabians took the oxen and they desolated the place. They have slain the servants with the edge of every blade, and I only am escaped alone to tell the price we paid. While he was yet speaking, came another from the hill. The fire of God is falling and the sheep are lying still. It has burned up all the shepherds in the middle of the field, and I only am escaped alone to tell the truth revealed. They fell upon the camels and the havoc they have played. Slain the servants, stolen all. A darkness in the street, and I only am escaped alone with the dust upon my feet. But while he yet was speaking, the last one reached the door with the heaviest of tidings that any spirit ever bore. Thy sons and thy daughters were drinking in their pride when a great wind from the wilderness hit the house upon the side. Oh, the corners of the house collapsed. The roof began to fall. Death was in the laughter and the silence of the hall. Oh, in a single hour of the day, the world was stripped and bare, leaving only hollow echoes in the cold and bitter air. Four winds blowing, for messengers of dread, bringing news of ashes and the rising of the dead. Four winds, everything is gone. Four winds, was a man in the land of who's perfect and so right, fearful of the Holy One and turning from the night. 7 sons and daughters, 3, a circle in the sun, with thousands of the silver sheep before the day was done. He rose up in the morning light to offer up the prayer, lest his children curse their God while joy was in the air. A wall of mercy stood around his house, and all he had. The world was full of goodness then, and nothing made him sad. He lived inside the hedge, the blessing of the hand, the richest of the eastern sons across the golden land. But in the halls of heaven a shadow started to play, a question for the faithful man at the closing of the day. Does he fear for nothing? The accuser's voice was cold. Take away the hedge and see if his heart remains as gold. The hedge of hedge, standing strong and high. The hedge of hedge, beneath a perfect sky. Hast thou not made an hedge about his house and all his kin? But put forth now thy hand and touch the world that he is in. He will curse thee to thy face when the silver turns to dust, when the iron of his spirit feels the burning of the rust. Then the word was spoken, behold, all that he has is yours. Only on the man himself, don't close the final doors. high and loose that day. The cattle grazed the grass, knowing not the storm of fire that was soon to come to pass. One moment is a mountain, the next is but a grain. The difference between the glory and the coming of the rain. The shadow crossed the threshold, the wind began to moan. The hedge was being lowered for the man upon the throne. He lived inside the hedge, the blessing of the hand, the richest of the eastern suns across the gold.